Here, I would like to explain to you what a health kid is. If I talk about health kids, I want you to understand. That's why I always explain to you. I explained to you one time that if you have a complication, if you have a challenge in your farm, it doesn't mean that all farms have that kind of complication. But find out, search from your friends, how do you handle this kind of situation? Because most of you people, what challenges you a lot, the kids. And do you remember, the kids is a project. If you have no kids, that means you're not in business. So in actual sense, what I really wanted to inform you guys, I would like to show you how I manage my kids. Oh, this video, call it how to manage a health flock for kids, or how do you have to manage your kids healthy. It's not just a bragging, but really I want to show you some of the healthy kids. But I do expect some questions. How do I manage a health kid? So how do I manage my kids to be healthy? Let me just, for example, show you one of these guys. I know some of you will be happy, others will be unhappy. Look at this. Is this really healthy? How do we know that this kid is healthy? First and foremost, look at its weight, look at its eyes, you know, and look at the haircut. It's really stable and nice. I told you many times. You see, no diarrhea, you know, the kid is really very nice. You know, we've just sprayed them today, and this is my take, this is my process of how I keep my kids' flock really very nice. First and foremost, I told you many times that we have to do what they call natural synchronization. That would be helping us to have kids in a group, of which is very, very nice to have kids in a group. We had synchronized my animals to produce in the seasons of the dry spell, preventing a lot of infections in the rainy season and so on. But God also has his plans. I've said this many times that when you do a project, have a plan B. What is my plan B? Now that I'd synchronized my animals to start producing from January, actually late December, January, February, March, April, and late April, I stopped everything. But now, the last months or the last years, the rain was starting in April, going up to early June. But now the things became vice versa, and now we are receiving kids from we received the rain from February, March, April, May. We still have the rain. You get it? So that becomes a serious complication. But still, that doesn't discourage you that if I receive my kids in the rainy season, they are going to die. For example, I would like this guy to show you the whole of these kids and see whether they have complications, whether we have diarrhea, whether we have eye infection, whether we have or whether we have mortalities. The answer is no, we don't have it. But how do we do it is the answer. How do we do it is the answer of the day. So the season shouldn't complicate you. Look at this guy. You know, look how this guy looks. I'm sorry if some of you I'm really making you angry, but that's okay. You're supposed to be like that, because not all people are supposed to love you, not all people are supposed to like what you want. And actually, I might be feeling happy to have the animals like this, and some people think about of having other stuff. So our interests are really completely different. But back to the point, how do we manage to have this kind of kids? Like for example, today we have been spraying. You see what I always tell you? If you get so close, I think you can see. This is a tick. We have just sprayed, and the tick is now trying to run away. Actually, the drug has complicated it. I think you can see. It's now trying to move around and make sure that it runs away. But we have sprayed it, and this shows that the drug was very, very effective. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do or to discuss? I think you see the ear brown tick called Rhipsphelus appendiculatus. So he is now trying to run away after getting the right dose of the drug. So now back on point. How do Hamiisi? Let me first kill this person. Okay. How do we keep these animals healthy? How do we keep the kids healthy? The way we keep animals healthy, one, I told you many times that who really want to follow my ideas, my practical experience, you're very welcome. Follow and do what I do. Don't be confused by somebody's idea. If that idea is helping him, well and good, that's very beautiful. But mine is also different from other people. This is how I manage these kids. Like the way these health kids, they also get complications, but if an animal is pregnant, like the mother, if it's pregnant of 3 months, I do give them vaccine of Clostridium. Clostridium is a cocktail of many diseases, and they definitely cause a lot of harm. They always cause a lot of diarrhea. But actually, if you vaccinate the mother will transfer the body immunity or the antibodies to the kid. And when kids are also born, they will be born strong. You get? And if they are born strong, when they make 2 or 3 months, they again given another boost vaccine for Clostridium. There is a lot of Clostridium vaccines, Ultradol, Ultra Choice, there is Jovaclost, there is a lot, Toxpra. Those are all Clostridium vaccines. So, me, what I do, I vaccinated the mothers of this, and now they are born. What do? I told you many times that every week, after 2 weeks, deworm these kids, because we don't want them to have a worm burden. If you have a worm burden, that becomes a very complicated case. You get? So these kids cannot manage worms, and the only way that you can realize that these kids don't have worms is by looking at their body score. Look at that. Look at the pelvics of this guy. It is showing to you that it doesn't have worms. I deworm these goats with a soft dewormer. Most of the time I use liver fast diamond in meals, just very small meals, like 1 meal after 2 weeks. I told you many times, I get a week and say, this week I'm giving these kids vitamin for 3 days, oral vitamin, because I have Aviboost, I have Introvit. It's not always very good to inject them because it causes pain to them, and we don't want stress. We want them to have the best and convert the best. So what do? We give them some oral vitamin. In a week, you can pick 1 week and say 3 consecutive days I'm giving a vitamin. Then after that, if you have an outbreak, if you have those abrupt death of these kids, it doesn't show any sign, like let's say diarrhea. It just wakes up in the day and dies there and then. So that could be a tick-borne. It can't be heart water. What do you do if you find that kind of situation? Me, if I get that and I get an abrupt death, like one got tap and then dies, I use antibiotics. I use Oxy 20 and I give it like 1 meal every week for like 2-3 weeks as I monitor to find out. Then I also do the spraying. I rather put an overdose, a little overdose of the acaricide than using the killers like you people think. So basically, that is how I do it. I deworm them every after 2 weeks. I give them some vitamin to boost their immunity again. Then as well, I inject them with antibiotics just in case there is those rampant mortality. But those are really caused by ticks. So basically, that's what I wanted to explain to you. That is how I have to manage my kids. And 2, these kids, if the mothers have very good milk, they'll of course be strong and healthy. We really love to produce many animals because most of you think about producing 2, 3, or 4. I recently received a goat that produced 4 kids, but I lost 2 because the 2 are too weak. But actually, if you also realize that the mother doesn't have a lot of milk, what do? Supplement it with cow's milk, but cook it or be consistent on which animal. But the hygiene should be at top notch. You get it? And that will keep your goats really very healthy. That's how I manage. Where they stay up every night. I have to separate them. They come sleep here alone. I put in grass. I think you can see, very comfortable end, and it's very uncomfortable for the bacteria and infections to stay in this kind of environment. The grass is dry grass, whereby it doesn't allow a lot of infections. So basically, that is my approach. And if you follow that procedure, I think you will not regret. And I do it basically to make sure that I get a lot of dollars from these guys. So let me just wish you the best. And that's what I really wanted to inform you. Bye.